Robinson continuing to loosen up with his catcher, Ed Ott. Before Pete Rose steps in to get the game underway, it'll be Rose, Griffey, and Morgan here in the top of the first inning. Cincinnati winning 2 out of the 3 games at Riverfront Stadium last weekend. And, of course, one of those 2 losses incurred by Don Robinson, the other win coming a week ago tonight when Johnny Bench hit that pinch hit home run in the bottom of the 9th inning off Jim Rooker to give the Reds a 3-2 victory. Rose batting .282 with 4 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Robinson looking to Ott for the sign. And the right-hander sends in the pitch. Rose swings and lines a single into center field, and this game is underway. Oh, Don Robinson coming to Pete with a game-opening fastball, and Rose turning it around for a single straight away. The 1 pitch, and the Reds have a man on base, and here's the right fielder, Ken Griffey, as Robinson goes to rubbing up the baseball as he moves back toward the pitching mound. Kenny batting .322. He's hit 3 home runs and has knocked in 15 runs. Reds had a big day offensively 2 days ago in Chicago, but were checked yesterday on 1 run and 7 hits by Rick Russell. Here's a pitch to Griffey, and this one's fouled back onto the screen and out of play. Strike 1. In the Pirate infield, we've got Willie Stargell at first base, Rennie Stennett at second, Frank Tavares is at shortstop, and Phil Garner at third. John Milner in left, Bill Robinson in center, and Dave Parker in right. Here's Robinson's next pitch, and Griffey fouls this one out of Ed Ott's glove, and the count quickly goes to 0 balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 on Griffey. Rose at first, Joe Morgan in the on-deck circle. Outfield shading Griffey to hit the other way. A big amount of room down the right field foul line. Here's Robinson with a stretch in the pitch, and Griffey this one gets by Ott, but it bounces right back to him. His throw to second, however, not in time. Ball bouncing away from the shortstop, Frank Tavares. And momentarily, it looked like the Pirates had gotten a break as Don Robinson uncorked a wild pitch. The ball rebounded right back to Ott, who double pumped one time, and by the time he got the throw down, Pete was easily in.
Marty, I think possibly Ed Ott was crossed up on the pitch because really it wasn't that bad, that high, but it certainly went by Ott in a hurry, I'll say that.
So the Reds got a runner in scoring position as Robinson is charged with a wild pitch. Ott has gone to the mound to talk with Don, so as Joe speculated, quite probably he was crossed up on the pitch. They're getting everything in order, and now we've got a balloon that comes to rest down along the plate area and promptly disposed of by plate umpire Paul Runge. Umpires on the bases. We've got Bob Engel at first, Jerry Dale at second, and John McSherry at third. 1-2 the count on Griffey. Right-hander sights a sign, checks back at second where Pete leads, delivers bouncing ball up the middle. That's off the glove and goes into center field by Rennie Stennett. Here comes Rose into the score, and the Reds take a 1-0 lead. That ball took an extremely high hop. As Stennett went to field the ball, he got the tip end of his glove on it as it carried on into center, and Griffey with a run-producing single to give the Reds a 1-0 lead. Well, the first 2 batters up here in the ball game have zeroed in on Don Robinson for base hits. The wild pitch becomes very important because it allows Pete second base, and he scores on Kenny's bouncing ball single to center. Joe Morgan, the batter, had a couple of hits yesterday and 4 times up and drove in a run, his 37th RBI of the year. Robinson throws to first, and Griffey is back. Joe batting .240 has hit 7 home runs. There's another throw to first, and this time Kenny dives back in with the right hand. This is a park that over the years has been extremely good for Joe Morgan. He's had some big games in terms of home runs in this ballpark. There goes Griffey. Pitch is taken high. Ott throw down to second. Not in time. A high throw, and by the time Tavares put the tag on Kenny, he was in at second base. Well, Griffey comes up with his 10th stolen base. Has been caught stealing but 2 times. One ball and no strikes. The run is in. Griffey at second. Nobody out. Morgan pulls it foul to deep right field. 1 ball and 1 strike. Talking about that Dodger 2-0 lead over Montreal at the end of 1. The starting pitchers tonight, Tommy John for L.A. and Rudy May for Montreal. While it's Bob Knepper against Jerry Koosman as San Francisco takes on the Mets at Shea Stadium. High with a pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Iron outfield plays Morgan straight away and deep. Robinson ready with the next pitch to the plate. And here it is. That's up. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. In case you missed the transactions while we're talking about Montreal that club announced today, they have traded for left-hander Woody Fryman from the Chicago Cubs for a player to be named later. The 3-1 to Morgan. That's ball 4 just high and out of the strike zone, and the Reds now will have him at first and second with nobody out for George Foster. Willie Stargell loping in from first base to say something to Robinson, who now goes back behind the mound as the crowd reacts here at Three River Stadium. 4 relief pitchers come out of the Pirate dugout, or make it 3, and go on down to the Pittsburgh bullpen along the left field line. So Stargell and Robinson have their meet on the mound, and now Foster steps to the plate. In that other Montreal transaction, they purchased catcher Ed Herman from the Houston Astros for an undisclosed amount of cash. Foster at the plate, 2 men on, nobody out. The pitch to him, and that's taken up and in, ball 1. So we may get somebody throwing in that Pittsburgh bullpen very quickly. In fact, we will. Left-hander Jerry Royce is going to start to get busy. Foster with 43 RBIs. He continues to lead the National League, but a hot-hitting Reggie Smith is rapidly closing in on him. That 2-run home run he had up in Montreal tonight gives him a total of 41 on the year. The 1-0 pitch. Foster swings and fouls to the mid of that odd. 1 ball, 1 strike. George is batting .313. And his 11 home runs put him 2 now behind league leader Dave Kingman, who hit a 2-run home run today in the Chicago 5-0 victory over San Diego at Wrigley Field. Foster fouls it off, and Robinson out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In that game, by the way, Dennis Lamp fired a 1-hit shutout at the Padres with the Cubs winning at 5-0. Bob Ochinko was a losing pitcher. Now it's Frank Taveras in from shortstop to talk with his pitcher. Pete Rose opened the game with a single to center, moved to second on a wild pitch and scored when Ken Griffey grounded one up the middle. Kenny stole second. Morgan has walked, so still nobody out. Robinson getting ready to go back to work against Foster. Slow come down to the belt, the check of the runners, and the pitch. That's just low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jerry Royce throwing in the Pittsburgh bullpen as the Reds are hoping to enjoy a big first inning here and a good getaway against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's a fly ball hit back in the straightaway center field. Well hit. Robinson goes to the wall and scores! George Foster takes Don Robinson straight away. And with 3 runs crossing, the Reds lead at 4-0. Foster with his 12th home run and a 4-run first inning, and still nobody has been retired. Second time on this road trip, the Reds have scored 4 in the first. They did it 2 days ago against the Chicago Cubs. Well, Foster taking one straight away center field as Robinson threw him a fastball right out over the plate, and George took care of every bit of it, hammering it to the right of the 400-foot marker in dead center. So it continues here in the first inning as Danny Dreesen steps in. He takes it high for a ball. Danny batting .303. Pitches in for a called strike. Maybe this will be the series that'll get the Reds offense untracked and really get them going. Swung on, fly ball, center field. That drives Robinson back a few paces. He makes the catch, and that ball was well hit. One away in the inning. Batter will be shortstop Dave Concepcion. Here's a reminder for Reds fans in Indianapolis. The Reds will play their AAA farm club, the Indianapolis Indians, on Thursday, June 15th at Busch Stadium in Indianapolis. Be on hand. Davey Concepcion batting .307. Right-handed batter as the pitch comes to him inside a ball. Swung on and fouled off the right side. That's well back out of play. Davey last weekend against Pirate pitching went 3 for 11 and had a couple of runs batted in. And a big game 2 days ago against the Cubs with a single, a double, and a triple. Knocked in 1 and scored 3. Pitches in on him. 2 balls and 1 strike. Robinson trying to survive a rough first, and he's a pitch away now from walking David as the count goes to 3-1. On deck, Mike Lum. And you wonder whether or not Chuck Tanner will go down and bring on Royce to face a left-handed batting Lum if Concepcion gets on, and Davey is in fact on, and pitching coach Larry Sherry coming out of the Pirate dugout and is on his way to the mound as Concepcion gets a walk following Dreesen's fly ball to center. And let's see if the Pirates are going to change pitchers right here or whether or not Sherry is just out there to try and calm Don Robinson down. He has given up 3 base hits. He has walked a batter, thrown a wild pitch, and of course the big blow in the inning, a 3-run home run to center field by George Foster. Well, the way the meeting is going on the mound, it does not appear that they will be taking Don Robinson back with them. In fact, now Sherry breaks off the conference and heads on back to the dugout. So Mike Lum will come onto the plate with a .288 batting average. Mike's homered 3 times and has knocked in 10 runs. Dave Concepcion at first with a base on ball. And we've seen Ken Griffey run successfully here in the first. Let's see what Davey might be doing. He's stolen 11 bases in 13 tries to lead the club in that department. The pitch to Lum is taken high for a ball. Reds lead at 4-0 as they continue to bat in the first. Only 1 man out. Lum at the plate. Concepcion at first against a holding Stargell and leading. And Donnie Werner is on deck. There's a throw to first, and Davey back in quickly. One ball, no strikes on Lum. And a throw to first again. Davey calling time at first base. Clean himself up just a little bit. He had to come in head first on that second throw over there, and now back on the bag, and Robinson will resume his work to Mike Lum. Infield for the Pirates, a double play depth, a throw to first, and safe again. Stargell turns and looks at Bob Engel as Davey bounces up off the ground, and again will take that challenging lead. Stretching the pitch. In there, strike one call. 1-1. Now the pause in the pitch, and Lum takes another strike. Robinson back with a fastball to get ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Record-wise, the Reds have won 34 and lost 22, while Pittsburgh, with a record of 23 wins and 28 losses, they still try to get things together and maybe become a challenger in this Eastern Division race. Lum strikes out swinging on a pitch in on him. So Robinson has his first strikeout. And with 2 away, Don Werner will become the 8th man to hit in the inning. This is the 12th consecutive game that Don has been behind the plate in the absence of Johnny Bench. John not starting since the 27th of May. There's a throw to first again. Werner batting .185, no homers and 8 runs knocked in. Had a good series against the Pirates with 3 hits in Cincinnati. Throw to first, and Robinson continues to pay a lot of attention to Dave Concepcion. Reds have scored 4 times in the inning. Run-scoring single by Griffey and a 3-run home run by Foster. There goes Concepcion. Pitch is fouled off. Davey will come on back with a count of 1 strike on Reds catcher Don Werner. All the while, Jerry Royce continues to throw down that Pirate bullpen. They got him up and working after Joe Morgan had drawn a base on balls, the 3rd batter up in the inning, and then Foster hit the 3-run home run to center field. Breaking ball, nice pitch as it started in on Werner and broke out over the plate for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. The end of 2 in Montreal. Dodgers 2 and the Expos nothing. Keeping a close eye on that game as well as the Giant New York game at Shea Stadium tonight. Robinson dealing hard to Stargell, but Concepcion easily able to get back in. Werner leveling the bat. And the 0-2 pitch. That's high and inside for a ball. 1-2. Should Werner reach, Paul Mosco would be coming up to hit. Robinson looking back over his left shoulder, turns, throws to first. Stargell applies a tag, Davey on the bag. Now Werner climbs back into the batter's box. Davey leaning back in toward first base as he gets his lead, and the throw goes that way still again. Don Robinson has thrown to first base numerous times. Concepcion was running on the first pitch to Werner, who fouled it off. Now let's see if the right-hander will come to the plate this time. He will, and Werner fouls this one off the right hand of catcher Ed Ott. Now the Pirate trainer coming out to take a look, but apparently Ed is all right. Reds batting for a while in the first inning. Not settling back in behind the plate, so apparently that right hand all right. And a holding count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on Don Werner. Throw to first and safe again. Robinson bound and determined to keep Davey from running, or at least taking the little extra liberty that oftentimes will result in a steal. Here's a half-swing bouncer foul, and that'll carry on into the Cincinnati dugout along the third base side. Have day games tomorrow and Sunday here. Tomorrow afternoon, Bert Blyleven and Tom Seaver hook up. 2 pretty good pitchers will be going head-to-head Sunday afternoon. Tommy Hume against left-hander John Candelaria. We saw Robinson and Blyleven in Cincinnati. We did not see Candelaria. There goes Concepcion. Pitches high. Throw down to second base, and David is out. Rennie Stennett took the throw from Ed Ott. So in the first inning for Cincinnati, 4 runs on 3 base hits, no errors, and nobody left on. The end of a half inning of play, the Reds 4, and the Pirates are coming to bat.
The Grange singers tell us to make friends with tomorrow. Tomorrow is sure to come, and it can bring either bad news or good news. Bad news first. Unless we protect ourselves, we can be victimized by stormy weather, business reverses, failing health, or just bomb breaks. We all get them sooner or later. Now here's the good news. A friendly tomorrow can mean diplomas on the wall, wedding bells, and a jubilant retirement celebration with money in the bank. What's the difference? Your Grange insurance agent can be the difference. Grange wants to be your partner, wants to help you make friends with tomorrow. A friendly Grange agent can get the good news going. Consult the Yellow Pages for the name of your nearest Grange agent, your partner in protection.
Make friends with tomorrow. Grange Mutual to be sure.
Well, the Cubs and the Cardinals will be the next visitors to Riverfront Stadium when the Reds return home next week. Then looking ahead, the action gets fast and furious, beginning in late June and throughout the month of July. There's a big weekend with the Dodgers. Then it's the 4th of July series with the Astros, followed by 4 weekend games with the Giants. After the All-Star break, the Reds are at home with the Mets, the Expos, and the Phillies. There'll be 21 games at Riverfront between June 30th and July 30th. So check out the schedule and make your plans right now. Be sure to purchase your tickets in advance. Well, Paul Mosco goes to the mound and leads 4-0 as he prepares to face the Pirates, and it'll be the shortstop Frank Taveras to lead it off. Taveras hitting .260, 13 RBIs. Fleet of foot, this man. He led the National League in steals last season. The pitch to him is low for a ball. Hence Rose is playing in at third base. Taveras, Milner, and Parker in the Pirate half of the opening inning. The 1-0 pitch swung on, bounced by the mound. Concepcion to his left. Quick throwing to Dreesen in time. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
This is the voice of the Cincinnati Reds for Central Ohio. Zebra 100, WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio.
One away on the Taveras ground out to shortstop, and in is the left-handed batting left fielder John Milner, and what a series he had in Cincinnati last weekend. Had 4 hits in 1 game. That was a Sunday afternoon Pirate victory. Takes a strike at the knees, and he's batting .247. 1 home run and 8 RBIs. Mosco pitches, and Milner takes strike 2 on the outside corner. John totally in disagreement with Paul Runge's call on that pitch, expressing a bit of displeasure before getting back into the batter's box. 0-2 the count. That's low for a ball. 1-2. Talking about Sparky Anderson waiting for his club to break out offensively. You could emphasize that even more in relation to the Pirates. Here's a high chop to the right side. Morgan has it. And Milner is out on the throw to Danny Dreesen. 2 away. Pirates as a team batting only .240, believe it or not. And the club that has been known down through the years as one of the more powerful teams in Major League Baseball. They've hit the 29 home runs this season. This man has hit 8 of them, along with a .283 batting average and a club-leading 30 RBIs in Cincinnati native Dave Parker. We mentioned the fact that Don Robinson celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday. Dave Parker turned 27 today. Dave playing with a bit of an injury. He has a minute chip fracture on the middle finger of his left hand. Those of you who were at Riverfront last weekend or heard the broadcast, it was a result of a fall at first base in the 7th inning. Here's a pitch high for a ball on the game last Sunday. 2 men out, nobody on base. The Reds lead the Pirates in the first inning 4-0. Here's a broken bat One hopper to the box. Moscow has an easy first inning as he throws Parker out. 3 up and 3 down. As we go to the second, Cincinnati leads Pittsburgh 4-0. Don Werner at the plate in the first when Concepcion was caught stealing, so it's Don Robinson against Donnie Werner at the outset of the second. Pitch is low, ball 1. Werner, Moscow, and Rose after Robinson was able to survive a 4-run Cincinnati first. Swing, fly ball back into right field. Parker drifting back, goes to the warning track, and he makes the catch. Donnie, a fly ball a long way the other way, but Parker has room to play it, and he does. So with one away, here's the pitcher, Moscow. More than 100 cities served by the Reds Radio Network, including Circleville, Ohio on WNRE, Bluffton, Indiana on WCRD, and Central City, Kentucky on WNES. One gone in the top of the second as pitcher opposes pitcher. Moscow takes a strike. That pitch is low, and the count evens at 1-1. Paul's only decision in his career, and a brief career though it might be, against the Pirates. No wins and a loss. 2 balls and 1 strike. The loss coming, of course, last Sunday when Bert Blyleven beat him. But has a chance tonight to not only pick up his first victory against Pittsburgh, but notch his first win of the 78 season. Low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Ed Ott walking out in front of the mound plate and saying something to Don Robinson, and now comes back. So Don a pitch out of the strike zone away from putting Moscow on. The pitch, and that's ball 4 high. Third base on balls allowed by Don Robinson. He'll be facing Pete Rose now, who hit the first pitch of the game for a single to center field and ultimately came in to score the first of 4 runs.
What an interesting thing about Robinson tonight, as you point up, 3 walks now in an inning and a third, and 76 in the third innings coming into the game tonight. Robinson walked just 12 batters.
That is, well, an impressive statistic is not doing it justice. That's almost unbelievable. Gives you an idea of the problems that Don is having tonight. It's good to see this guy back on the beam again. He's been having his problems at the plate. But with a base hit already in his back pocket tonight, he tries to get another one here as Robinson comes high with a fastball. Once again, they've got Jerry Royce loosening in the Pirate bullpen. He threw for quite a while in the first inning. One out, one on. The pitch to Pete, and that's missing for ball 2. And well, I think Robinson and I both wanted that one. Paul Moscow with a jacket on down at first base as Willie Stargell plays about even with a bag and just a shade in front of Paul. Robinson behind, needing a strike here against Rose. Pete swings, hits a fly ball back into straightaway center. That ball hit well, but Robinson is on the warning track and one hands it for the out. Now, Pete had a bid to do the same thing Foster did in the first inning, but it was a bit short. Both outs in this inning have been on warning track fly balls. First Werner, now Rose. Ken Griffey 1 for 1 with a run batted in, a stolen base, and a run scored. That hit for Kenny was his 72nd of the year. He's a pace setter in the National League in that department. That one gets away from Ed Ott, and on to second base goes Moscow. It's like a breaking ball low and inside that Ott was not able to handle. So we will await the official scorer's decision, and that's going to be the second wild pitch that Robinson has thrown. Moscow now at second with 2 away. The 1-0 to Griffey is high. Ball 2, 2-0. Robinson's last win came on the 19th of May in Montreal when he worked 8+ innings, giving up 3 runs on 8 base hits. Since then, he started twice, once against the Mets and once against the Phillies. Here's a swing and a miss. In addition to his start against Cincinnati, and is still looking for what proves to be an elusive 5th victory. Both those starts against the Mets and the Phillies resulted in no decision. Philadelphia winning both of the games in extra innings. Griffey lines one into center field, base hit. Robinson charges. Moscow way to the plate. Here comes Robinson's throw home. It's way offline. Paul scores as Robinson backing up at the plate was the one who came up with a baseball. Bill Robinson's throw way off target. And the Reds are in with their 5th run, and here comes Chuck Tanner to the mound, and that's going to be all for Don Robinson. Left-hander Jerry Royce is going to come on here in the second. Griffey moving to second base on the throw home. They'll give Kevin Kenny his 2nd run batted in, and now Jerry Royce is coming on in relief for the Pittsburgh Pirates here in the second. So we got a break in the action here at Three River Stadium, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Introducing one of the best vacation deals of a lifetime. Introducing the Cincinnati Reds Kings Island Doubleheader Pleasure Vacation. And here's what it's all about. For just $63 per person based on double occupancy, you can give yourself the pleasure of a double vacation for less than the price of one. This is what the Doubleheader Pleasure Vacation includes. Reserved seating at a Reds home game, admission to Kings Island for 14 hours of fun, 2 nights lodging at any of these Harpenau hotels, the Kings Island Inn, the Marriott Inn, the Carousel Inn, or the Howard Johnson Motor Inn. Free transportation from your hotel to and from the game, and admission to the College Football Hall of Fame to be opened later this summer. For reservations and information, call 800-543-4036. Ohio residents, call 800-582-3056. That's 800-543-4036 for details. The Cincinnati Reds Kings Island Doubleheader Pleasure Vacation. Call today.
Now Chuck Tanner forced to go to his bullpen early tonight. Don Robinson giving up 5 runs inside of 2 innings of play, and he has turned the baseball over to left-hander Jerry Royce. Royce has no record and an earned run average of .597 as he makes his 11th appearance and his 6th in relief this season. Ken Griffey's base hit to center, scoring Paul Moscow, gets the 5th Cincinnati run home and brings about a pitching change for the Pirates. Royce loosens up. We'll give you some scores. At the end of 2, the Dodgers lead Montreal 2-0. The Giants and the Mets have played an inning of scoreless baseball. In Philadelphia, Danny Ozark's club after their 10th consecutive victory, and they lead 2-0 over Atlanta. At the end of 1, Eddie Solomon against Larry Christensen, while Houston and the Cardinals in St. Louis have not yet started. The probables there, Tom Dixon against Silvio Martinez. In the American League, it's Cleveland 3, Minnesota 1 at the end of 4. Zahn against Clyde. Kansas City with a run of the first, but Tiger third baseman Rodriguez is homered with a man out in the second. Detroit still batting and leading 2-1. Joe Morgan at the plate now as Royce gets ready to go to work. He delivers, and Joe takes a strike at the knees. Morgan had a walk in the first inning and scored a run. He was on base when Foster hit the home run. Pitch is high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Four runs in the first and 1 so far here in the second. Base hit now would get Ken Griffey in. There's a call strike. Well, Jerry Royce in relief of Don Robinson and working to Joe Morgan with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kicking the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, hit to right field. Going back, Parker. Warning track, leaping. He dropped the ball. Griffey will score, and Morgan will go in standing at second. Boy, it looked like Parker had that ball for a moment.
Marty, I think the ball actually hit the wall at the back of his glove, the way it looked. And I thought he caught it too, but it sounded as though the ball hit, and then he hit, and I believe it hit the back of the glove.
Well, Morgan will get credit for a two-base hit and an RBI as he hits a line drive to deep right field. Parker got a good break back on the ball. Went to the base of the fence and leaped, and the ball got away from him, and Morgan is at second base. A run is in, and the Reds now lead it 6-0. Foster with a 3-run home run to center field in the first inning. He takes a slow curve. Strike one call. Oh, you can close the book for tonight on Don Robinson. An inning and 2/3. He gives up 4 hits, 6 runs, all earned with a strikeout and 3 walks and 2 wild pitches. Foster hits a high fly ball into shallow left center field. Bill Robinson converging on it and makes the catch. Cincinnati's second shows 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 left. And after an inning and a half, it's a Red 6 and the Pirates nothing. As the Pirates get ready to bat in the bottom of the second, we'll run down the other games on tap in the American League tonight. Toronto at Milwaukee, Jefferson against Caldwell. Chicago plays at Texas, where the Rangers try to extend their winning streak to 5 in a row. Pablo Torrealba against Doc Medich, and of course the White Sox have reeled off 11 wins in their last 12 games. Baltimore at Oakland, Flanagan against Broberg. New York at California, Messersmith opposes Frank Tanana, who will try to join Montreal's Ross Grimsley as 10-game winners in Major League Baseball. And Boston will be at Seattle, Tion against Mitchell. Reds attack 2 more runs on the board and now lead Pittsburgh by a half dozen as Paul Mosco will be working against the middle third of the Pirate batting order. Bill Robinson, Willie Stargell, and Rennie Stennett. Robinson batting .244 with 3 homers and 20 RBIs. Mosco delivers, and Bill swings at the first pitch and does not get it. Strike one. Biff Prokhorova has hit a home run in the second inning at Philadelphia. It's now 2-1 Phillies. Pitches inside and off the glove of Werner. Or was it a check swing foul ball? It'll be 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Robinson. I think Bill's batting average would pretty much be a good indicator of how this season has gone offensively for Pittsburgh. This guy, not a .244 hitter. And looked like he was showing signs of coming out of it last Sunday. Had 3 hits in the game that the Pirates won. He bounces over the mound. Long run for Concepcion. Davey can't get it. Ball is into center field for a hit. Well, the Pirates get their leadoff hitter on in the second on a single to center by Robinson. Pete Rose talks to Paul Mosco as Willie Stargell steps in to swing the bat. Willie at only .228, but always a threat anytime he steps in. He has 6 home runs. Ball to him. Check swing on a breaking pitch. 1-2-0 the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Stargell was out of the Pirate lineup for a while. In fact, didn't see much action at all in Cincinnati. There's a call strike at the knees. Got a muscle pull in his back that originally happened while swinging at a changeup. And he knew he'd hurt himself, but went on and played the next 2 days and just aggravated the muscle even more. He's out for about 7 or 8 ball games. Now with Mosco taking too much time, Stargell calls time with Paul Runge and steps out. 2-1 to count. Robinson at first. Moscow delivers, and Stargell takes a fastball outside, ball 3. Joe Larnett flashing Stargell a sign as the Pirates try to stir something up in the inning. Here's a foul off the end of the bat. That'll be out of play. A pretty good crowd here at Three Rivers tonight. The Pirates looking for their best weekend in attendance so far this season, and they've had a bit of a struggle at the gate. There's some 140,000 behind at the same time last year. They're looking for a big weekend here with the 3 games against the Reds. Runner goes, 3-2 is swung on, looped into shallow left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Here comes Robinson on to third. As Stargell loops one into left with Robinson going, and Bill moves on to third. So Pittsburgh gets back-to-back base hits from Robinson and Stargell. Runners on the corners for Rennie Stennett. Moscow had an easy first inning. He got him out 1-2-3, but not so here in the second. Stennett, a .263 batter. He swings and fouls it off. Somewhat of a strange statement from Philadelphia manager Danny Ozark concerning why the Phillies have had such great success in stealing bases this season in games played against Pittsburgh. Ozark said it was because of the broken leg that Stennett suffered last year. He fouls another one off, and that he is not getting to the bag to take the throws as quickly as he did last season. We asked Chuck Tanner about that earlier tonight, and he said that's a bunch of junk. He said you don't steal bases off the second baseman.
That is a new theory, isn't it?
I've never heard it before. He said the Phillies are doing this season what they should have been doing last year, and he feels like they are running more because of the success that Pittsburgh had in 1977. Up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Robinson at third, Stargell at first. The Pirates trail the Reds 6-0 in the second inning. This one bounced by the mound. Morgan has it. Flips to Concepcion. Throw to first. Double play. Run is in. Stennett hits into a 4-6-3 double play with Robinson crossing with the first Pittsburgh run. A 6-run lead. The Reds gladly giving up the run to get the double play. And now with a 6-1 score, the bases are clear of runners, and the batter is catcher Ed Ott. Left-handed batter out. He's batting .239. He swings and hits one by the mound and by Concepcion. The ball bounced over his glove and goes into center field. Third Pirate hit of the inning. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Phil Garner. Order your tickets in advance by mail to see the Reds in action. Box seats are $5. Reserve seats $4. Send check payable to Cincinnati Reds, Box 1970, Cincinnati. Include 50 cents with each order for postage and handling. Garner chops it foul at the plate. Inning open with a Robinson hit to center. Stargell blooped one into left field. Robinson moving to third. Stennett hits into a double play as the run scores, and Ott is single into center. So Ed Ott at first as Moscow works against Garner with a count of 1 strike. Here's a pitch on the outside corner. Strike 2. Breaking ball is low. Jerry Royce on deck. Way outside, off Werner's glove, and Ott moving on to second base takes a turn, and he puts on the brakes. Mosko with a wild pitch, and that's already 3 in the game. Pirate starter Don Robinson uncorked 2, and Mosko has just thrown one by the plate to move out to second. 2-2 on the batter, Garner. Well, with first base open now, let's see what they're going to do. They go ahead and work to Garner with 2 down. Here's a pitch, and that is hit in the air to deep left center field. Foster goes back to the wall. He's at the fence, and he makes the catch. In the second for the Pirates, a run on 3 hits. They strand a runner, and after 2, Cincinnati 6 and Pittsburgh 1.
If you think howdy, partner, and Buenos Dias sound like pretty friendly ways to greet a Red Rooter from Cincinnati, then the Stroh Brewery has some friendly news for you. On Monday, June 26th, the Red Rooters Club is off to Houston, Mexico City, and Acapulco. In exciting Houston, you'll watch the Reds whip the Astros, take a tour of the Astrodome, enjoy a special dinner. Your stay will be topped off with a Stroh's hospitality party, where you can get plenty of that good cold Stroh's beer that goes so good with good times. Then it's on to Mexico City for some really great sightseeing and tours, including a visit to the Shrine of Guadalupe and the pyramids. You'll spend one night in a hotel at Toxco, and the next day tour the famous Silver Center. And what better way to start the 4th of July celebrations than in Acapulco, where you'll have 3 days of fun in the sun, a yacht cruise of Acapulco Bay, and a dinner and diver show. For complete details, call the Barney Rapp Agency at 513-381-7277. 513-381-7277. Wonderful trip, wonderful beer. Stroh.
We'll pause again for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
This is FM 100, WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, the home of Cincinnati Reds. Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxall, right here in mid-Ohio.
6-1 Cincinnati at the end of 2. Danny Dreesen for openers here in the third against the left-hander Royce. And here with the play, Joe Nuxall.
Thank you, Marty. Dreesen, Concepcion, and Lum here in the third inning for the Reds. Danny in the first, a fly ball to Robinson in center field. Royce winds and delivers, and Dreesen looks at a breaking ball for a called strike. And a .303 batting average with 7 home runs and 31 RBI. Royce back to the plate. Dreesen takes just a bit high, and it evens at 1-1. Reds scoring 4 times in the first inning and picking up 2 more in the second. They lead it 6-1. Pirates getting their run in the bottom half of the second. Jerry Royce in relief of Don Robinson. The 1-1. Change high and inside. 2 balls to strike. Robinson worked an inning and 2/3. The Reds had 4 hits off him. He struck out 1, walked 3, 5 runs, and all 5 earned runs. A swing and a bouncer to Stennett at second. He throws on to Stargell, and Dreesen is out number 1. One away, and Dave Concepcion, the batter. Dave walked in the first inning and then was cut down stealing from Ott to Stennett. Robinson charged with 6 runs, all earned. Royce delivers. Concepcion takes it a curve, low and inside. One-0 delivery, swung on and fouled, off to the right. Count evens 1-1 to Concepcion. Now the 1-1. That's this change. It's in for a called strike. Maybe looking at it. 1-2. Royce has not won or lost a game this year. A rough start for Jerry. Apparently having some arm problems early. Now the 1-2. Fastball lined in the right field, a base hit. Parker overcuts it off. Concepcion makes the turn, and he'll hold right there as a strong throw to first, and Bailey back sliding. Well, strong throw by Dave Parker, going toward the line and making the pivot and throwing to Stennett. And Dave had made the long turn and had to hustle back to first base. Second hit off Jerry Royce, and the sixth in the game for the Reds. That'll bring Mike Lum to the plate. Mike struck out in the first inning to end the inning against Don Robinson. Mike hitting .288, 3 home runs, and 10 RBI. Concepcion leads. Royce the stretch and the pitch. Lum takes a curve outside and no ball. One-0 delivery. Lum squares the bunt, takes again outside, a fastball this time, and it's 2 balls, no strike. Don Werner on deck. The stretch. The 2-0. Lum takes a bit high. 3-0 the count, and Mike not offering the bunt that time. Checking with Alec Gramis, the Reds' third base coach, for a sign. Concepcion at first leads. Royce to the belt. And the 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4, low and outside. So the 1 out, 2 have reached. Concepcion on the single and Lum walking. That'll bring Don Werner to the plate. Don sent Dave Parker to the warning track in the second inning to take in his fly ball in deep right field. Now Werner looking to Gramis for a sign. Reds leading 6-1 and threatening here in the third inning. Royce delivers. Werner swings and fouls, backing out of play. Well, tomorrow afternoon, a fine pitching matchup. Bert Blyleven for the Pirates and Tom Seaver for the Reds. Royce has his sign. And a bluff back to second base. No throw. 0-1 the count to Werner. Royce nods the okay to the sign. And the pitch. Runners goes. Pitch swung on and grounded to the shortstop Taveras. Up throwing. And the runners move up as Werner is thrown out by Taveras. Concepcion moves to third. Lum to second. 2 away now. And the batter, Paul Mosco. Paul walked in the second inning and scored the 5th Cincinnati run. Royce delivers and Paul swings on it, and a ground ball to Stennett at second. Going on to Starzl, and that's the inning. The Reds out here in the third. No runs. They get a hit. There were no errors. 2 runners left on base. It's the middle of the third. Cincinnati 6, Pittsburgh 1.
Some people wonder why spend money on replacement windows when they already have good windows in their home. Well, maybe some of these New Sash customer letters will help you understand why. Dear Mr. Johnson, I wondered about spending money on New Sash windows, but my reservations are now gone. My wife thinks they're beautiful and very easy to clean, but the amazing thing is that we keep the thermostat on 65 degrees all winter long, and our furnace only comes on 4 or 5 times a day instead of 10 or 15 times as in the past. Thank you. Our New Sash windows are paying for themselves. If fuel savings are important to you this winter, give Bill Johnson a call at 267-8396. New Sash is the only window with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, and New Sash replacement windows are custom made for a perfect fit. Call Bill Johnson at 267-8396 and let him show you how to save up to 30% or more in heating costs. That 24-hour number again, 267-8396. Always ask for the original New Sash.
Jerry Royce will lead off the third inning for the Pirates, and then it'll be Frank Taveras and John Miller. Well, at Montreal, after 3 innings, the Dodgers lead the Expos 5-4. Los Angeles scoring 2 in the first, 3 in the third. The Expos scoring 4 in the bottom half of the third. And at New York, the Giants, the Mets, have gone through 3 there, no score. All right, Jerry Royce steps in. The Pirates failing the Reds 6-1. Moscow delivers, and Royce swings and misses a fastball. Paul looking for his first win of the year and his first lifetime victory over the Pirates. Paul 0-1 against the Pirates lifetime. Of course, that one loss came his last start against them in Cincinnati. It's low to Royce, and the count evens 1-1. Lifetime in the National League, Paul has won 6 and lost 8. 1-1 delivery. Royce swings on it and fouls. And the count goes a ball, 2 strikes. Frank Taveras on deck. Warner hangs the sign, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Good fastball up and in, and Paul has his first strikeout. 1 away, and it'll be Frank Taveras. Taveras grounded to Concepcion in the first inning. He's hitting .260 with 13 RBIs, 10 doubles, and 1 triple. Taveras, a right-handed batter. Moscow starts his windup, but now Taveras backs away from the plate. All right, the first pitch to Taveras, taken for a called strike, a breaking ball. Paul making his 6th start of the year. 0-1, just off the plate at the knees. A ball to strike. A 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. Good curveball. He had Taveras way out in front on that curve, so the count of ball, 2 strikes now to Frank Taveras. Mike Blum shading Taveras a couple of steps toward right in center field. 1-2 delivery. Curve has hung and lined at Foster in left field. George picking it off head high. 2 away, and John Milner the batter. Oh, hanging a curveball right up in the wheelhouse for Taveras, and he lined hard to Foster in left for the second out of the inning. Milner in the first inning grounded to Morgan at second base. A line to pitch, and Milner takes it inside a ball. All working quickly. Curve, that's again low and inside. 2 balls, no strike. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and hit the right field. And Griffey waiting on it, and he has it, and that's the inning. So the Pirates out in order here in the third, nothing across, and after 3, Cincinnati 6, Pittsburgh 1.
When you think of lawn tractors, think of Markmaster. Rugged dependability. That's a good way to describe Markmaster's Deluxe Lawn Tractor. A big machine designed to get you through the big jobs with less time and effort. And if our winters in central Ohio continue to be as severe as they have been in the past, Markmaster is your fast and easy way out with the optional snow blade or snow thrower. But what good is a great lawn tractor without great service to back it up? Dick's Lawnmower Service at 2389 Roar Road not only sells, delivers, and instructs you on proper handling of your mighty Markmaster lawn tractor, he also offers the finest service anywhere. Dick assures you of quality service for your Markmaster or any other brand lawnmower or tractor you may already own.
And as a special bonus, with the purchase of any Markmaster lawn tractor valued at $1,090, Dick will give you a 36-inch snowblade absolutely free if you mention you heard this on WRMZ. Call Dick today at 491-3675. He's listed in the Yellow Pages under lawnmowers.
Reds leading 6-1 as they bat in the fourth inning. It'll be Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. Pete 1 for 2 tonight. Led off the game with a single to center and scored our first run of the game. And then the second inning, he sent Bill Robinson to the warning track in center field, all in his fly ball. Pete up for the first time in the game, hitting right-handed against the left-hander, Jerry Royce. Royce starts his delivery, and time called now as for some reason Jerry Dale came running in. Now everything all right. Apparently Bill Robinson having problems with the light up in the press box. Okay, the first pitch on the way to Rose, and it's taken low and inside the ball. Royce back to the plate. Rose swings on it and bounces it to Garner, charging at third. Bill up and throwing the Stargell. 1 out. 1 away, and Ken Griffey, the batter. Ken, 2 for 2, has driven in 2 runs and has scored 2. With the 2 hits thus far for Kenny, he raises his batting average to .325. Came into the game at .322. Royce winds and delivers, and Griffey swings on a curve and chops it foul off the first base line, picked off by Ron Plaza, the Reds' first base coach. The Reds return home Monday night for a week. Back to the West Coast. Royce has the sign for Bott and delivers. That's swung on and popped into right field where Dave Parker waits on it and gathers it in. Out number 2. Bill Way and Joe Morgan, the batter. Joe, the first batter that Royce faced, and Morgan doubled off the wall in right field. Drive in a run, his 38th of the year. Bill walked in the first inning, scored on Foster's 3-run homer. Royce delivers a check swing and a foul up and over the Cincinnati dugout. Bill with a couple of hits yesterday in Chicago. Hitting the ball quite well again. There's a fastball high to Morgan. 1-1. Royce winds, the 1-1. Morgan takes it inside corner, called strike, and it goes the ball 2 strikes now to Morgan. One and 2 to count. 2 out, base is empty. And the pitch. Just under the knees, a slow breaking ball. Count even 2-2. Robertson very deep in center and about straight away. 2-2 delivery. Swung on and a bounce foul off the end of the bat and off to the left of the plate where Ed Ott picks it up. Out holding, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Morgan. Royce back to the plate. Fastball is high, full count. George Foster on deck. Royce standing behind the pitching rubber now steps on and gets his sign, and the payoff on the way. Morgan swings on him, grounds it to Stennett, off to his left, throwing to Stargell, and that's the inning. For the first time in the game, the Reds go out in order. Nothing across. Middle of the fourth, Reds 6, Pirates 1. In the fourth inning, Paul Mosko will be facing Dave Parker, Bill Robinson, and Willie Stargell. Parker ended the first inning by bouncing back to Mosko. He's hitting .283, 8 home runs, 30 RBIs. He has 7 doubles and 3 triples. Outfield playing Parker straight away. Pirates have had 3 hits off Mosko. He struck out 1. Parker takes on the outside corner, called strike. Don Werner really gives a good target for his pitcher. Where he wants him to throw the ball, the pitch. That swung on and hit off the fist and popped to Concepcion at shortstop. Werner sitting inside, and that's exactly where Paul Mosko threw it. Jammed Robinson pretty good. Dave Parker, if you remember last week in Cincinnati, when he fell over the first base bag, suffered a mini chip in his fracture in the middle finger of his left hand. So probably a little hard for Dave to swing that bat with a lot of authority. The pitch to Bill Robinson, a curveball swung on and missed. Bill singled to center field and scored the one Pittsburgh run as Stennett bounced into a double play. Mosko back to the plate and got him again with a breaking ball. 0-2. One out, base is empty. Stargell on deck. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on and pulled down the left field line, a fair ball, and it bounces out of the ballpark, and that's a double for Bill Robinson. So Paul Mosko again making a mistake to Bill Robinson. Don Werner actually sitting low and outside, and Mosko looked like threw the ball right down the middle of the plate. Hit number 4 for Pittsburgh, and half of them belong to Bill Robinson. He's at second base, and Willie Stargell the batter. Stargell, a good single to left field in the second inning. All sets and delivers. Stargell takes a low ball. Robinson at second leads. 1 out. The 1-0 to Stargell. High and outside. 2 balls, no strike. Ronnie Stennett due up next. Outfield straight away for Stargell. Here's the 2-0. He swings and misses a fastball away. Down 2-1. Mosko has the sign. 2-1 pitch. High with a fastball, and the count goes 3-1. Three-one delivery. Swung on and popped up to the left side, and Foster there waiting on it, and has it 2 away. Brings second baseman Rennie Stennett to the plate. Stennett bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the second inning. Mosko down behind the mound, looking in the center field, and now goes to the rosin bag and back to the pitching rubber. A pitch to Stennett, way outside, a breaking ball. Pretty good crowd here at Three Rivers tonight. Swing fly ball, left center field. Foster, edge of the warning track, and catches it easily. Oh, the Pirates in the fourth, no runs, they hit no errors. A runner left on base, and at the end of 4, the Reds 6 and the Pirates 1. Totals for 4 innings show the Reds 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The Pirates a run, 4 hits, no errors. For the Reds, it'll be George Foster to lead it off in the 5th, and back for the action, Marty Brenneman.
Okay, Joe, George 1 for 2, and that one hit a big one, a 3-run home run in the first inning. And that home run for George, not only his 12th of the season, but his 3rd against Pittsburgh. He has hit 2 of them off Don Robinson because George got him in Cincinnati last week. Now he'll be leading off the 4th inning, the 5th inning against Jerry Royce, who came on in the 2nd. And has allowed the Reds no runs on 2 hits. Morgan greeted him with a double in the 2nd inning and then a base hit by Concepcion in the 3rd. Here in the 5th inning, Foster, Dreesen, and Concepcion. Royce with a pitch, and Foster swings and lines one to left field. That's a base hit. Ball will go to the wall. Here's Milner with a pickup. He kicks it around momentarily, and that will allow George to jog into second base standing up with a double. Well, Foster 2 for 3, both for extra bases. The Reds have now had 7 hits off Pirate pitching tonight. Danny Dreesen is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second. And in the 1st inning, he flied out to center field. Dreesen's batting average standing squarely now at 300. He came in tonight batting .303. Well, with Foster at second base with a leadoff double, Roy starts into his stretch and now stops and will start all over again. Here's a pitch. Swung on, pulled by the first baseman down the right field line. Fair ball. Foster will score. Dreesen coming to second base, takes a turn, checking on Parker, whose throw comes quickly back in, and the Reds have gotten back-to-back doubles and again lead by 6 runs at 7-1. That was a bullet line drive by Willie Stargell that just hit fair and went on into foul territory down the right field line. And Davey will step in now with a run in, nobody out. Dreesen out at second base. Concepcion 1 for 1, a walk and a single to right. He takes a pitch inside and high for ball 1. Davey batting .311. Well, that single he had in the 3rd inning, adding 4 points to his batting average. Royce with a stretch and the pitch. Concepcion takes it. It gets off the glove of Ott, who runs back to pick it up, but not in time to keep Dreesen from moving on to third base. That was a breaking ball that really, it looked like Ed Ott in all likelihood should have been able to play, and that's the way the official scorer sees it because he's charged not with a pass ball.
Marty, fairly good news from Montreal.
Well, drop it on me.
4th inning, Dodgers nothing, Expos 6, so it's 10-5 after 4 innings.
Well, right on. Pitch inside, but it gets a corner for a called strike. It is 2 balls and 1 strike. Larry Parrish had a home run, a grand slam home run it was, his 7th home run of the season, so 6 runs in the 4th for Montreal, and they now lead the Dodgers 10-5. 3 balls and a strike. That L.A. pitching staff that's supposed to get people out with regularity, not doing it, at least not up to this point. Here's a foul out of play as the Pirate infield playing up now with Dreesen at third base as a result of Ott's pass ball. And a full count on David, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, L.A. already 5 games behind both the Reds and the Giants. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, looped over the infield. That's going to drop for a base hit as it falls in front of Parker. Here comes his throw to the plate, and not in time. Dreesen scores standing up to make it 8-1.
Tell you, Danny almost forgot who was out there, I think, because he was going to take his time coming in, and then all of a sudden he says, whoop, that's Dave Parker. I better tune it up a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, we've talked before about the tremendous arms among right fielders in the National League, and Parker is one of an outstanding trio. The other two being Ellis Valentine and Dave Winfield. There's a breaking ball that's low and away. Ball 1 to Lum. Of course, I think Reggie Smith could pretty much rank up there with the good throwing right fielders in the National League also. 3 consecutive base hits in the 5th off Royce have produced 2 runs. Strike is in to Lum, 1-1. We've got Ed Whitson, a right-hander, now getting ready down in the Pirate bullpen. Lum is struck out. He's drawn a walk. He grounds one towards second. Stennett charges and now has to throw to first base to get the out on Lum. They've got Davey caught in a rundown. Stargell to Taveras to Jerry Royce and back to Stargell, and he puts the tag on it. That's the inning. Or make it 2 out. The Pirate team coming off the field, but that's only 2 out in the inning. Davey holding up 2 fingers out by the pitching mound. Wait a minute, the Pirates almost completely off the field, with the exception of Dave Parker, and hey, it takes 3 outs to complete an inning, and the Pirates will now somewhat sheepishly come back out. Meanwhile, we'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. The Reds lead the Pirates 8-1. 2 more runs across in the top of this 5th inning off Jerry Royce, and now it'll be the bottom third of the Pirate batting order. Ed Ott, Phil Garner, and a pinch hitter for Jerry Royce. Ott 1 for 1. He laced a single to center off Moscow in the second, one of 4 hits the Pirates have had. He swings and fouls this one to the screen behind the plate. Strike 1. Ott takes a pitch low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to the Pirate catcher. Swung on and bounced towards second. Morgan quickly off to his right, picks it up and throws him out. 1 down. This is Phil Garner. He drove one to deep left center in the second inning that Foster caught on the warning track. This reminder, All-Star balloting is now underway and will run through the 2nd of July. Be sure to cast your All-Star vote this year. Ballots are available at Riverfront Stadium, at all Reds ticket agencies, and at most stores where Gillette products are sold. Fastball too much inside of the right-handed batting Garner. On deck is Ken Maka. He'll be pinch hitting for Jerry Royce. Breaking ball dipping over for a call strike. Paul Moscow with a 7-run lead, trying to chalk up his first victory of the season. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it's low, and that evens it up at 2-2. Ed Whitson once again getting ready in the Pirate bullpen. He, in all likelihood, will be on the mound when the Reds bat in the 6th inning. Here's a line drive off the glove of the diving Danny Dreesen, rolling into right field. That'll be a base hit for Garner. Phil Garner comes up with hit number 5 for Pittsburgh, and now Ken Maka will come onto the plate to pinch hit for Jerry Royce. Maka was with the Pirate AAA Farm Club in Columbus. He was called up when Jim Fregosi received his release in order to become manager of the California Angels. Ken has been to the plate but 1 time and has had a base hit, so As Concepcion and Moscow talk out behind the mound, Maka, a right-handed batter, will stand in with Garner at first and one man down. In the Pirates' fifth inning with the Reds out in front 8-1. Garner leading at first. Moscow with a pitch. Maka with a swing and a foul. No balls and one strike. Maka swings at a good fastball away and doesn't get it. Strike two. Ball giving up 3 of the now total of 5 Pirate hits in the second when they scored a run. He has Maka bouncing to third. Rose comes up firing on to Morgan. They'll take the force play at second. And that is all. Well, it looked like Joe had his mind made up before the ball ever got there that he would in no way attempt to get a double play, and Ken Maka does not run all that well, but they get the force at second base on Garner. And with 2 away, here's the leadoff batter, Frank Taveras. Frank is grounded to Concepcion, and in the third inning hit a fly ball that Foster caught and left. 0 for 2. He pops this one up behind the plate. Werner coming back to the screen, and he makes a play. Nice play by Don Werner. Good play by Donnie.
Marty, this is interesting. The on-deck batter, John Milner, thinking that Werner trapped it against the screen, and we had a pretty good angle on it, and it certainly looked that way.
Well, in the inning for the Pirates, they get no runs on a hit with a man left on, and after 5, Cincinnati 8 and Pittsburgh 1. With Joe Nuxall, Marty Brenneman back at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh as we journey on into the 6th inning. Newcomer to the mound for the Pirates, right-hander Ed Whitson. Whitson making his 4th appearance, all in relief. He has no record and no earned run average, having worked only in 2 1/3 innings, giving up 3 base hits. He has struck out 5 and walked 1, and so far no runs have come across the plate against him. Whitson 6'3" and 194 pounds. He's 23 years old, born in Johnson City, Tennessee, now resides in Irwin, Tennessee. Reds, of course, have a network station in Irwin, WXIS. So he follows to the mound left-hander Jerry Royce, who worked in 3 1/3 innings, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, and walked a batter. And it'll be Moscow, Rose, and Griffey here in the top of the 6th for Cincinnati. All 0 for 1 with a walk. Got the base on balls in the second inning and eventually scored a run. Takes a fastball letter high for a strike. That San Francisco-New York game is now in the 6th inning. Bob Knepper and the Giants leading Jerry Koosman and the Mets 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Greg Luzinski having a big night at home tonight against Atlanta pitching. He's hit 2 home runs. His 11th and 12th of the season, and that second one coming with a man on base. Here's a swing and a foul. Off the glove of Ott. So Whitson out in front of his opposite number, Moscow, 1-2. Here's a pitch. This is bounced down the first baseline, fielded by Stargell. He underhands to the pitcher covering for the putout. 1 away. Throws up for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3. A single in the first inning, has fly to deep center, and is also grounded out to third base. Well, the Reds have had 9 hits in this one. Rose batting .283. So far this season, he is now 3 for 15 against Pittsburgh pitching. Started out the game batting left-handed against the right-hander Robinson. Turned around one time for Royce and is now batting left-handed against the right-hander Whitson. Ball one. That's taken inside corner strike call. 1-1. Whitson checking in with Ott. Delivers. Rose swings. Sends a fly ball well back into left center field. Milner on the warning track and makes a leaping catch at the wall. John Milner robbing Pete Rose as he went quickly back to the fence, leaped and picked it off the boards to take away extra bases from Pete, and Rose clapping his hands in appreciation for a good catch by Milner. Pete giving credit certainly where it is due as Milner robs him, and Rose appreciates the effort by the Pirate left fielder. Milner made a fine play on that one. 2 away for Ken Griffey, who's had 2 singles and has driven in 2 runs. He's up for the 4th time. Griffey trying to come up with his 3rd hit as Whitson deals him a curveball inside. Swung on, out of play, a foul ball. 1-1 to count. And only 1 inning that could be characterized as an easy one for the Pittsburgh Pirate pitching staff. That was the 4th when Royce got Rose, Griffey, and Morgan out in order. The Reds got 4 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd. Had a couple of men in scoring position when the 3rd inning ended, and then, of course, scored twice more in the 5th on doubles by Foster, Dreesen, and a single by Davy Concepcion. On doubles by Foster, Dreesen, and a single by Davy Concepcion. Griffey checks his swing. It's low, 2-1. Ed Whitson fingering the ball in his glove, now looks in for the sign. Pitching. Swing and a miss. Kenny spinning on a 2-1 pitch. Two balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on here in the 6th inning. 2 men out. Whitson fires. Griffey swings. Grounds one to the left side. Up with it to Tavares. Quick throw to first base. Not in time. Infield hit. Now Ken Griffey having a big night in his native state of Pennsylvania. He resides only 50 or so miles from here, his hometown. Planning to go home after tomorrow afternoon's game. He and his family see relatives, and having a big night in Pittsburgh with now 3 hits. Here's Joe Morgan. Has walked and scored, doubled a run in, and grounded out to second. Pitch is way outside. Up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Tomorrow afternoon, Tom Seaver and Bert Blyleven get together. And we'll finish it off here on Sunday afternoon and fly home to begin a week-long homestand on Monday night against the Chicago Cubs. That's strike 1 call at the letters. Probables for that Monday night series opener against the Cubs, Rick Russell and Bill Bonham. That in itself could make for an interesting evening of baseball. Swing and a fly ball hit into right field. Parker comes in on it, waiting, and makes a catch. That's all for the Reds, and the 6th inning numbers show no runs with a hit and a man left on after 5.5. Cincinnati leads Pittsburgh 8-1. Well, we've got a new pitcher on the mound. Left-hander Dave Tomlin. After Paul Mosko goes 5, allows the Pirates that 1 second-inning run on a total of 5 hits. He struck out a batter, didn't walk anybody, and delivered a wild pitch. So it is Tomlin on in the 6th inning, with the Reds out in front by 7, and it'll be Milner, Parker, and Robinson, the 2, 3, and 4 batters in the Pirate scheme of things. Tomlin had a rough go of it in his last couple of outings in Chicago. He delivers a taken strike to Milner. Record of 4-1 with a .415 earned run average. This will be the 27th relief appearance of the season for Dave. 1 ball and 1 strike. Milner has gone hitless in 2 times up with a ground out and a fly out. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Mets get on the board against the Giants, but San Francisco gets the tie-breaking run across, and it is San Francisco 2 and the New York Mets 1. Here's a swing and a foul by John. Game now in the 7th inning at New York. And through 5 completed Montreal, the Expos 10, the Dodgers 5. Two the count. And Tomlin has gone full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Milner lines one into right field off that payoff pitch, and that's a base hit. So the Pirates get a leadoff single. That's their 6th hit on the night, bringing Dave Parker to the plate. Mosko worked extremely well to Dave, getting him on a ground ball to the box and popping him out to Dave Concepcion at shortstop. Parker waving that bat around as Tomlin comes to him, and he fouls it away. Reds are trying to win their 10th game in the last 15 times out. Swung on and grounded over Dreesen into right field. Back-to-back singles for Pittsburgh. Here comes Milner, long-legging it on to third. The ball cut off by Concepcion. Was a high bounder by Dreesen, moving Milner to third base. So the first 2 Pirates base hit Tomlin. And here's a guy who's working on a perfect night in Bill Robinson, a single and a run scored in the 2nd and double to left in the 4th. Infield, a double play depth as Tomlin delivers, and the pitch is hit into right field, slicing away from Griffey. He looks up, it's off the wall. Milner will score. Here's a throw back, and on at second base is Robinson with Parker moving to third. Now on a double off the boards by Bill Robinson, and Dave Tomlin getting banged around pretty good. Here's Willie Stargell. He has singled and fly to left. We've got Pedro Bourbon hurriedly loosening up in the Reds bullpen. Left-hander against left-hander, and this one is lined into left center field. Another hit. One scores. Here comes Robinson home. The Pirates have now scored 3 times and nobody out. Pittsburgh trying to jump back in this one very quickly. A single by Milner, a single by Parker, a double by Robinson, and a 2-run single by Willie Stargell makes it 8-4. Here comes Sparky Anderson, and that's going to be it for Dave Tomlin. He faces 4 batters. gives up 4 hits and 3 runs. So Pedro Bourbon will come on as Tomlin stay on the mound proves to be very brief indeed. Well, we've got another break in the action here at Pittsburgh, and we'll be back with more of this Reds-Pirates series opener after this.
Well, I remember way back.
Well, Sparky Anderson has just gone back into the Cincinnati dugout. Dave Tomlin couldn't do it, and now he's hoping Pedro Bourbon can. 4 consecutive hits. 2 singles, a double, and a 2-run single. The last blow struck by Willie Stargell makes it 8-4 Cincinnati. And now Pedro Bourbon is on to try and put aside this Pittsburgh Pirates 6th inning uprising. Bourbon with a 2-1 record in his 22nd relief appearance of the season and a .518 earned run average. Grant Jackson has started to throw now in the Pirate bullpen. He's a left-hander. Batter will be Rennie Stennett. In the second, hit into a 4-6-3 double play. In the 4th inning, fly to Foster. Oh, the Pirate crowd here at Three Rivers having something to get excited about as their Pittsburgh Ball Club, down by a score of 8-1, has scored 3 runs with nobody out. The pitch to Stennett is swung on, and Luke Fowl back of the Pirate dugout. We got a time call as the second base umpire Jerry Dale threw his hands up. Joe Morgan did the same, and whatever it was, it is no more because Bourbon will go to work again. Stargell leading at first base. Stennett swinging late, fouls it back again. Strike 2. Moscow surprisingly being lifted after 5, but Paul might have had some problem in his shoulder. There's a breaking ball that's just blowing away. Telling us a few days ago he was having a soreness, one of the muscles in back of his right shoulder, and that could possibly have been the reason Sparky took him out after 5. Bourbon jamming Stennett, fouls it back again. On the count holding on the Pirates' second baseman, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And out on deck, Bourbon in relief of Tomlin. He pitches. Stennett swings, hits it into right field. That's going to be a base hit. The ball bounds away from Griffey. Here comes Stargell rounding second on his way to third. They're going to hold him there as Stennett goes to second. Now Ken Griffey had the ball kicked by him as the man they call the Panamanian Express here in Pittsburgh, Rennie Stennett, doubles to right field.
Marty, it looked like the ball hit the crease out there. There's a crease in the AstroTurf, and it looked like the ball hit it and kicked away from Kenny.
Well, they scored a 2-base hit for Stennett. Oh, a single now, and Pittsburgh would be but 2 runs away. Ed Ott has had a base hit. He is also grounded to second. He takes the first pitch from Bourbon high. Swung on, bounced down the first base side. Dreesen plays it. Everybody will stay right where they are as Ott is retired. We'll pause now for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
For Cincinnati Reds baseball in the capital city, listeners tune in FM 100, WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, for every Cincinnati Reds baseball game.
Pedro is retired out on a ground to the first with Stargell and Stennett holding at third and second respectively. Manny Sanguillen has come in from the Pirate bullpen to the dugout, and he will probably pinch hit for Whitson. Here's Garner, meanwhile. Ground ball, shortstop. Concepcion will throw him out at first as Stargell comes in to make it 8-5. Stennett stays at second. That'll be a run batted in for Garner. So it has been the second 4-run inning of the night. Cincinnati got 4 in the first inning. Pittsburgh has struck for a 4 spot in the 6th. And let's see who Chuck Tanner is going to pull off of his bench. We mentioned the fact Sanguillen had come in from Pittsburgh's bullpen. Let's see if Manny is going to be the man who will be sent up to swing the bat for Whitson. It will be. Grant Jackson will be the new Pittsburgh pitcher in the 7th inning because Sanguillen, the veteran, is coming off of the Pirate bench to try and get Stennett in from second base with 2 away. Manny hitting .273, has homered twice, has knocked in 4 runs. Bourbon coming on to face Stennett, allowed a double, got out on a ground ball, Garner on a ground ball, Stargell scored, and now it's Bourbon against Sanguillen with 2 away. The pitch at the knees, strike 1. Swung on, they pop up in the shallow center, but Morgan drifts back and makes the catch. In the 6th inning for the Pirates, they got 4 runs on 5 base hits. No errors and 1 left, and through 6 complete, it's now the Reds 8 and the Pirates 5. Now Grant Jackson coming out of the Three River Stadium mound to become the 4th Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher to work in this series opener. It's 8-5 Reds, and we'll be sending up George Foster as the leadoff batter in the 7th. And back with a play-by-play, here's Joe.
All right, Marty. Grant Jackson making his 18th appearance of the year. He is 0-1 with an even 3 earned run average. 22 innings Jackson has worked. He has allowed 30 hits, has struck out 16 and walked 10. He will be facing George Foster, Danny Dreesen, and Dave Concepcion. Jackson had a good outing in Cincinnati. Last Sunday, he relieved Bert Blyleven in the 7th inning, and Jackson, who gave the Reds 1 hit the rest of the way, struck out 1 and walked 1. George Foster, 2 for 3 tonight. A 3-run homer, the big hit in the first inning when the Reds scored 4 times. Then George, a fly ball to center in the 2nd, and a double along the left field line in the 5th, and scored. So Ed Whitson works 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, did not strike out anyone, nor did he walk anyone. The attendance here at Three Rivers Stadium tonight, 21,710. 21,710, the attendance tonight. The Reds have had 10 hits in the game, along with the 8 runs. The Pirates have also had 10, but they have 5. The Reds leading at 8-5 as Foster makes his way to the plate. Foster, Dreesen, Concepcion for the Reds here in the 7th inning. Tomorrow afternoon, Bert Blyleven will go for the Pirates. For the Reds, it'll be Tom Seaver. Blyleven will be trying to even his record at 5 wins, 5 losses. And, of course, Tom Seaver will be going after his 6th straight victory. Swing and a shot into left field. And Milner can't get to it. It's over his head. And on his way to second, George Foster with his 2nd double of the ball game. Number 13 on the year for George, or number 10 rather, his 10th double of the year. Well, he wastes no time jumping on Jackson's first pitch and hitting a line drive over the head of jumping John Milner in left field. Jumping John. That's what he was doing there. Cesar Geronimo loosening up down in the Reds bullpen, and he will in all probability replace Mike Lum. Foster at second base, nobody out, and Danny Dreesen the batter. Danny had double in the 5th inning to drive in Foster, who had led out the inning with a double. Jackson sets and delivers, and a fastball is in for a called strike. Reds now with 11 hits in the game. led at one time 8-1. Jackson delivers. That's swung on and fouled back behind the plate and onto the screen. And Grant Jackson out in front now, 0-2 to Van Driesen. Stennett playing games with Foster down at second base, trying to slip in behind him. 0-2 the count. Jackson sets, delivers. Pitching outside with a fastball and goes 1-2. 1-2 delivery. Swung on, and that's popped foul off to the right of the plate. Ed Ott off with a mask, but that one's going to drop onto the top of the Pittsburgh dugout. Montreal, the Dodgers have come up with a run in the 6th inning, and after 6, it's Montreal 10, Los Angeles 6. Giants leading the Mets 2-1 after 6 at New York. All right, the 1-2. Driesen swings and bounces it to Stennett. Moving on to third is Foster as Stennett throws out Driesen. One away, Foster at third, and Dave Concepcion the batter. Dave 2 for 2 tonight in a walk. He walked in the first inning, singled in the third to right, and again in the 5th to right field. Eight 8-5 Reds leading, but we have our 9th run just 90 feet away, and George Foster, if we can get him in. And we'll see what they do with Dave Concepcion with Mike Plum on deck. David's batting average .314. He's raised at 7 points tonight. Waiting on Concepcion to step in, and now Willie Stargell goes to the mound to have a word with Grant Jackson. Ed Ott, he trots out to join in, and Rennie Stennett moves in, and all four having a meeting just to the rear of the mound and off to the right. Paul Runge, the plate umpire, going out that way, and now the meeting breaks up, and now Runge with Ott and Jackson going over something, and apparently looking at the left hand of Grant Jackson. We'll see what Runge saying something about the hand of Grant Jackson as he moves back behind the plate. All right, Ott back behind the plate. Dave Concepcion the batter. George Foster at third base, and the Pirate infield pulled in. Jackson works from the windup, and the pitch swung on and fouled out of play to the right. Concepcion asks for the rosin bag. Mike Plum gives it to him. 0-1 to count. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled, and quickly Grant Jackson in front of Dave Concepcion, 0-2. Infield in for the Pirates. Jackson kicks and delivers. That's inside, called strike 3, and he got him with a fastball. Jackson's fastball really tails, and that came back over the inside corner, and Concepcion called out on the strike. 2 away now, and Mike Plum the batter. Mike 0 for 2 and a walk. Foster playing games with Phil Garner down at third base. The pitch to Lum, and Mike swings and misses a fastball. The 0-1 to Lum. Fastball, that swung on and missed, and quickly Jackson in front of Lum 0-2. The 0-2 delivery. Fastball swung on and fouled back to the screen. Count holds 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson checking with Ott. And again the 0-2 pitch. Low and outside, a breaking ball dug out of the dirt by Ed Ott. Count goes a ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Lum swings on him, fouls it straight back. Two out with Foster at third base. George led off the inning. They doubled to left. Moved to third on a ground out, and they're still there. The pitch up high. 2-2. Jackson winds and delivers the 2-2 to Lum. It's high and inside, so the count now full to Mike Lum. Jackson quickly jumped in front of Lum. No balls, 2 strikes, but now a 3-ball, 2-strike count. And the payoff on the way. Lum swings on and loops it into left field, a base hit. So a big run for the Reds. Mike hanging right in there with Grant Jackson. That ball in on Mike, and he fought it off, drops it into left field. He gets his 11th RBI of the year, and the Reds lead it by a score of 9-5. Reds now with 12 hits in the game. That'll bring Don Warner to the plate. Warner 0 for 3. He takes his pitch inside and high from Jackson. Don has hit a fly ball to deep right, grounded to short, and popped out to Stargell at first base in foul territory. A pitch inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Jackson the stretch, the 2-0. Warner swings and bounces to Garner at third. His throw to Stargell, dug out, and Willie is able to keep in contact with the bag. And a good play by Willie Stargell on a bad throw by Phil Garner. So the Reds in the inning get a run on 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 runner left on base, and it's the middle of the 7th. Cincinnati 9, Pittsburgh 5.
The time is right, that feeling's coming through. Real beer lovers know only one beer will do. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's taste like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. Everybody knows it's the beer lover's beer. It's family brew for over 200 years. Real beer lovers say they go out of their way for a Stroh's. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's tastes like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. From one beer lover to another Stroh's. Stroh's, the Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
One change in the Reds lineup. Cesar Geronimo in the game now, replacing Mike Lum in center field. Pirates will send up the top three in the order here in the seventh: Taveras, Milner, and Parker. The Reds leading it 9-5. Pirates scoring 4 times in the 6th inning on 5 straight base hits. It started off with Miller a single, Parker single, Robinson double to right, Stargell single to left to drive in 2, and Stennett double to right. Taveras tonight 0 for 3. He's grounded short, a fly ball to left, and is popped out to Warner in foul territory at the plate. Borbon in his second inning of work delivers, and Taveras lines one fair along the left field line. Foster over, playing it down in the corner. Taveras to second, makes the turn. He'll hold there for the leadoff double. Well, the Pirates waste no time. The very first pitch, Borbon delivers. Taveras hits a shot between Rose and the bag and down the left field line. Second hit off Pedro, and that is 11 for Pittsburgh off Cincinnati pitching. And the batter will be John Milner. Milner 1 for 3. Has scored a run. Taveras at second. The stretch by Borbon, and the pitch it swung on and pulled foul deep down the right field line. That one will drop into the Cincinnati bullpen. Well, the Reds trying to hang on here. The Pirate bats coming alive in the last 2 innings. They had 5 hits in the last 2 innings, 6 hits. To stretch the pitch, high and outside. 1-1. A ball, a strike to count. The pitch swung on, chopped foul, and Milner goes down in the batter's box. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Milner. Well, as we expected or suspected, Paul Mosko leaving the game because of the stiffness in his right shoulder, and was taking no chances with Paul changing his delivery and causing serious injury to his arm. 1-2 the count. Taveras leads at second. Borbon sets and delivers. Milner swings, grounds it up the middle, a base hit, and Taveras will score easily, and it's 9-6. Second hit for John Milner. He gets an RBI, his 9th of the year. And the Pirates are at it again here in the 7th. That'll bring Dave Parker to the plate. No activity in the Cincinnati bullpen, but we're going to have some real soon. In all probability, it'll be Manny Sarmiento and Doug Bear, or Doug Bear himself. Dave Parker, the batter. Parker 1 for 3. He had a single in the 4-run 6th inning. Pirates now with 12 hits in the game. Borbon sets and delivers. Parker swings, and he gets a base hit to left field. Foster plays it back to the infield, and the tying run is at the plate for the Pirates. Four hits now off Pedro. Bill Robinson, the batter, and Bill a perfect 9. He has singled and doubled twice, has driven in a run, has scored 2. Time called now. Larry Shepard coming out of the Cincinnati dugout to have a chat with Pedro Borbon. Doug Bear throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. Oh, what looked like an easy game for the Reds has turned into be a very, very difficult one. The Reds at one time led 6-0, and then it was 6-1, then 8-1. Pirates scored 4 times a 6 to make it 8-5. The Reds picked up a run in the top of the 7th to make it 9-5, but the Pirates have scored here in the 7th inning, and they have runners at first and third, nobody out, and Bill Robinson, the batter. 3 straight singles, or make that a double and 2 singles. Taveras led off the inning with a double. Milner singled to center, and Parker singled to left. The Reds leading at 9-6. And the big guy on deck. Pitch to Robinson. He swings and misses. Arbone ready. His pitch. Swung on. That's hit by Rose down the left field line. That'll score 1 for sure. Parker on his way. He's being waved in. And it's a 9-8 ball game. And Bill Robinson with 4 straight base hits. His 3rd straight double. Robinson now with 3 RBIs on the night. 5 hits from Pedro Borbon, 3 runs. And here's the big guy, Willie Stargell. Reds now down to 1 run. And Sparky Anderson out of the dugout. He's headed to the mound. That'll be it for Pedro Borbon. So he works 1 inning. Doug Bear will come on and see what he can do about stopping this attack by the Pirates. Oh, bullpen has been doing so well, and all of a sudden really getting roughed up here tonight. Borbon leaves. He works 1 inning plus. Allows Pirates 5 hits on 3 runs. Did not walk anyone, nor did he strike out anyone. So Doug Bear jogs in from the Cincinnati bullpen. Doug, this will be his 25th appearance of the year. Doug was 1-1 and lost 1, an old 79 earned run average. He's worked 34 innings, allowing 26 hits, striking out 30 and walking 14. Doug with 9 saves to his credit. Looking at the scores, of course, this afternoon in Chicago, the Cubs shutting out the Padres 5-0. At Montreal, after 7 innings, the Expos leading the Dodgers 10-6. And at New York, after 7 innings, the Giants lead the Mets 2-1. Philadelphia, it's 6-1. The Phillies over the Atlanta Braves after 7.5 innings, and at St. Louis, after 2 innings, Cardinals leading Houston 2-1. And here the Reds leading 9-8. The Pirates have scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings, 4 in the 6th. They've scored 3 here in the 7th. We got Bill Robinson at second base, nobody out, and the batter is Willie Stargell. Stargell had a 2-run single in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 3. Both of his base hits have gone to left field. Well, the Reds trying to hang on here at Three Rivers Stadium. One time leading 8-1. Now in trouble. Bear the stretch. And delivers. Stargell takes outside and high ball. Paul Mosko started the Reds and worked 5 good innings, allowing 5 hits, striking out 1, did not walk anyone, and the Pirates scored a run off him, and then things began to happen. Pitch to Stargell, down low, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Dave Tomlin came on in the 6th inning and did not retire a batter. 4 straight base hits off Tomlin, and he was charged with 4 runs. Bear sets. And the 2-0. Stargell swings and fouls. Count goes 2-1. Better keep an eye on Bill Robinson because he will steal a base. Air to the belt, checks Robinson, and the pitch. Up high, 3-1 to count. Rennie Stennett on deck. The pitch swung on, hit into right left center field. On the run, Foster and Geronimo, they can't get to it. King at side, Stargell into second, and he has his third RBI of the game, and it's 9-9. Over the second straight inning, the Pirates score 4 runs and 5 straight base hits again. They've had 10 hits in the last 2 innings and scored 8 runs. First it off Barry and close out for Bowles now. Pedro worked 1 inning, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. All right, here's Rennie Stennett. Willie Stargell at second base, still nobody out, and the score tied 9-9. Oh, the Lumber Company coming alive here tonight. They're ready, and his pitch. Stennett swings and grounds it foul off to the right. Pirates have had 4 doubles in the last 2 innings. They've had 5 doubles. 6 altogether. The pitch. Stennett takes high, and it's 1-1. Jack Dillingham getting a win over the Royals tonight. 3-2 for the Tigers. Jack now 5-3. All split or the loser in that one. It's 7-5. 1-1 to count to Rennie Stennett. There, the stretch and the pitch. Stennett swings and fouls, and the count goes 1-2. Oh, the Pirate fans here tonight being treated by a wild one. Had 18 runs scored, 27 hits, 4 wild pitches, but there's not been an error. The 1-2. That strike 3 call. Got him with a pitch on the inside corner, and Stennett not happy with all runs he's called, but it stands as out number 1. 1 away, and Ed Ott's the batter. Ott 1 for 3 tonight. Singled back in the second inning. There sets and delivers. Ott swings and hits at the center field. A base hit. Here comes Stargell. Here comes Geronimo's throw. Is it going to be in time? It's off to the right. Not in time. And the Pirates lead it 10-9. Led Ott with his second base hit of the game, and a big one. And he scores Stargell from second base. Pirates have taken the lead at 10-9. That run charged to Doug Bear. Right now, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. Bill Garner, the batter. The Pirates have scored 5 times here in the inning. They lead 10-9. They have 6 hits in the inning. They have 16 altogether. There, the stretch and the pitch, and Garner swings and bounces it deep in the hole, knocked down by Concepcion. That'll be a base hit. Rose went after it. Maybe tried the backhand. He had to gamble on it. There's only fuzzies on his chance. And a base hit for Garner, his second of the game. Hit number 17, 7 in the inning, and it'll be Grant Jackson. Jackson up for the first time, and no doubt as to what he'll be doing. The Reds have squandered away a 7-run lead. After 5 innings, they led 8-1, but the Pirates have really come back strong. Out at second, Garner at first. Jackson does not square the bunt and swings away on a fastball. Now checks in with Joe Lynette, the Pirate third base coach. That's the pitch. Jackson swings and fouls, and it's 0-2. One out for 1 out. Rennie Stennett called out on strikes. Fair sets and delivers. Jackson swings and hits to right field. That is going to drop for a base hit. And the bases will be loaded, so everybody's hitting for the Pirates here in the inning. 8 hits in the inning. Pirates are batted around. They have the bases loaded with 1 out, and the man who started it all, Frank Tavares, will be at the plate. So Grant Jackson, not being called on to bunt, lines a single to left. Got Odd at third, Garner at second, and Robinson at, or I should say, Jackson at first base, and the batter, Frank Tavares. Morgan now at the mound meeting with Bear and Don Werner. Werner heads back to the plate. Pirates now with 18 hits in the game, and 12 of them coming here in the last 2 innings. 5 in the 6th. And 8 have had 13 hits in the last 2 innings. 8 hits here in the inning. We have not had a walk in the ball game as far as the Reds are concerned. Bear sets and delivers. Tavares takes low and inside the ball. They're ready. His pitch. Tavares swings and a chopper. That ought to score a run. Morgan with the ball. He'll throw on to first as Ott scores, and it's a 11-9 ball game. Give Tavares an RBI. The runners move up. Garner to third. Jackson to second. 2 away now, and the batter, John Milner. Milner, an RBI single in the inning. He's 2 for 4. Has scored 2 runs. There the stretch and the pitch. Milner takes it high a ball. The Pirates haven't been choosy. People out of our bullpen. Tomlin gave up 4 hits. Bourbon 5. Bear has given up 4. The pitch Milner swung on and fouled back and out of play. And the count evens 1-1. Bill Garner at first base. Grant Jackson at second with 2 out. The pitch. That's a breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Werner. Count goes 2 balls to strike to John Milner. Bear sets the pitch. Milner swings and hits it deep to left center field, but Geronimo is there waiting on it, and he has it, and we finally get him out. The Pirates get 6 runs on 8 hits. There were no errors, 2 runners left on base, and at the end of 7, Pittsburgh 11, Cincinnati 9. Well, the 7-inning totals show the Reds 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The Pirates 11 runs, 18 hits, no errors. Dave Collins will lead it off, hitting for Doug Bear as the Reds bat in the 8th inning. Back for the action, Marty Brenneman.
Okay, Joe, Grant Jackson on the mound now stands to win it if he can hold the Reds at bay over the final 2 innings while Manny Sarmiento gets ready in the Cincinnati bullpen. Collins batting .250 with 5 RBIs this season. As a pinch hitter, he's been up 25 times and has had 5 base hits. We've got Omar Marino now playing center field for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bill Robinson has moved to left. John Milner is out of the game, and Will McInerney is loosening up for Pittsburgh. So the Reds blowing at one time what was an 8-1 lead in this game, and now trail by 2 runs. A bullpen that has had a tremendous amount to do with the fact that the Reds started out tonight in a virtual tie for first. Collins swings, pops it up, down the right field line. Could be a tough play here. Is foul ball as it falls among Parker, Stennett, and Stargell. And that Reds bullpen having a tough time of it tonight. Tomlin giving up 4 runs without retiring a batter in the 6th inning. Bourbon giving up 4 in an inning plus, and Doug Bear charged with the 2 runs that is the margin of difference right now. One strike to count on Collins. Jackson with a long look in, and now comes to the plate. Dave takes it inside, a fastball, 1-1. Collins trying to get it going and allow the Reds to make a comeback. They trail by 2. The pitch swung on and popped off the first base foul line, quickly over his eye, but the ball falls out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I tell you that the New York Mets have scored 2 times in the bottom of the 8th inning and now lead the San Francisco Giants 3-2. Collins waiting for Ott to get his face mask on and now settles back in behind the plate in the crouch. Jackson looking for the sign. He kicks and fires. Collins pops this one up, and that'll be in play. Willie Stargell back behind first base in foul territory. Now comes back to fair ground to make the catch. 1 away. Well, we go back to the top of the Reds batting order. Pete Rose is 1 for 4 with a single in the first. Fly to deep center in the second, grounded to third in the fourth, and was robbed in the 6th inning when Milner leaped at the wall in left center and hauled down his long belt. Here's a pitch, and Pete swings and hits it to straightaway center. Going back, Marino. He will be there to make the catch. 2 outs. So Grant Jackson not having any problem here in the 8th inning, at least with the first 2 batters, as he will now be working to Ken Griffey. Kenny has singled 3 times in 4 trips to the plate on an infield hit to shortstop in the 6th. Griffey swings at a curve and misses. Strike 1. This is a kind of game that we have seen so many times involving the Reds and the Pirates. Low and outside, a ball, 1-1. Jackson comes to the plate. Kenny takes a breaking pitch. Outside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pittsburgh with 18 hits. The high this season by an opposing team against the Reds. 20 hits by the Expos on the 7th of May. Swung on, ground ball to first. Stargell has it on the second bounce. Throws to Jackson. Bad throw. Got by him, and Griffey will be on. That'll be a throwing error charged against Willie Stargell. And I'll tell you, that would leave a grave decision open to question right there.
Well, Marty, I'd tell you, that's a bad scoring call simply because Jackson was not near the bag and Kenny really had him beat. And I don't say that because of Kenny. It's just a bad play. Kenny had to play beat easily.
So Griffey should have been scored with a base hit, but they charge a throwing error on Willie Stargell, bringing to the plate Joe Morgan. Joe has doubled in 3 official trips. He has scored 1, has knocked in 1. He's a tie and run. He takes a high fastball from Jackson. That's the first error in this ball game. There's a throw to first, and Stargell has to reach back across Griffey coming in to grab Jackson's throw. The left-hander dealing, and Morgan checks his swing on a high and tight pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. They go to third base umpire John McSherry, and he agrees with Morgan. Now let's get Joe on and give Foster a shot at this guy with a couple of men on base. Swing and a miss. Morgan was trying to tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. 2 balls and a strike. Final score from New York. The Mets have beaten the Giants 3-2. Lockwood the winner, Nepper the losing pitcher. So if the Reds can come back, they can move into first place by themselves. Ball 3 is high. Jackson retiring pinch hitter Collins and Pete Rose on a pop-up and a fly-out, but Griffey reaches on an error. And Morgan swings and fouls into the catcher's mitt to run the count full. It's been quite a while since Joe has hit a home run. 3-2. Griffey will be running as Stargell backs up at first. Morgan gets a walk as Jackson does not come close. So with 2 men on and 2 men out, you've got Foster coming up. George has hit a home run, has doubled twice in 4 trips. While in the Pittsburgh Pirate bullpen, we've got Kent DeCalvey loosening. And would you believe John Candelaria, who is scheduled to pitch the wrap-up to this series on Sunday afternoon. And if he is loosening up with the idea of relieving, an indication enough that Chuck Tanner is going to go all out tonight. Of course, it could mean if he has to use Candelaria that we would then possibly see Jim Rooker. But right now, Chuck Tanner is coming out, and he's going to bring on the right-hander DeCalvey to face Foster. So Grant Jackson works 1 2/3 innings, allows a couple of base hits, strikes out a batter and walks a batter. And he's going to turn it over now to Kent DeCalvey in a bid to try and get the final out of this 8th inning. Pirates lead at 11-9. Cincinnati has a tying runs on base. And Foster will be up when DeCalvey finally makes his way in from the bullpen and finishes loosening up. Well, we talked the last couple of days about the June player draft going on, and we've got good news to report to you tonight. The Reds announced today that Charlie Leibrandt, the left-hander from Miami University, signed with the Reds today. Charlie, the Reds' number 9 draft choice, he'll be reporting to Eugene, Oregon next week. Had a 7-2 record at Miami this spring and led the Mid-American Conference with a 165 earned run average. Also had a league-leading 70 strikeouts in 71 innings. Leibrandt finished his college career with 252 strikeouts, and that broke the record previously held by Buddy Schultz. Now, of course, working out of the Cardinal bullpen. Schultz had 240 career strikeouts in Miami. The Reds also signed number 10 selection Chris Trapolo, an 18-year-old outfielder from Metairie, Louisiana. Reds have now signed 11 players from this week's draft, including 8 of the first 12 selections. Kent DeCalvi with Griffey at second and Morgan on at first base in the 8th inning. Kent has a record of 3 wins and 4 losses and a .268 earned run average. It's going to be his 28th appearance and his 26th in relief. He has started a couple of games and has been the headliner out of that Pirate bullpen. He saved 6 games. Pittsburgh getting 4 in the 6th inning and 6 in the 7th to erase an 8-1 deficit and go out in front 11-9. Reds got 4 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 7th. Pirates got their earlier run in the 2nd. Oh, and what looked to be an easy night for Paul Mosko in terms of getting his first victory of the season now has gone by the boards. Well, they have now taken away the error from Willie Stargell, and they have corrected what was originally a bad scoring decision and given a base hit to Ken Griffey. Okay, here's Foster. He's had quite a night tonight. 3-run homer in the 1st, a double in the 5th, and a double in the 7th. DeCalvi hands on knees, looking in for the sign with Griffey leading at second and Morgan at first. Here's a pitch, and Foster takes it way outside, a ball. Meanwhile, McInerney and Candelaria, 2 left-handers, continue to stay ready for Pittsburgh. Foster out away from the plate, making DeCalvi wait. Now the right-hander comes to the belt. He delivers. Foster takes it outside. Ball 2-0. If George should get on, you may well see Chuck Tanner come out and make another pitching change because you've got the left-handed hitting Danny Dreesen coming up next. Montreal has held off a late Dodger comeback to defeat L.A. 10-9. There's ball 3. Now Willie Stargell out talking to Kent DeCalvi, who has not yet been able to throw a ball in the strike zone here against Foster. 3 balls and no strikes. The outfield playing George deep and around toward left, giving him a tremendous amount of room down the right field line and also into right center. Here's a 3-0 to the plate. He takes on the outside edge for a call strike. Two men on, 2 men out. DeCalvi in relief of Grant Jackson. Works to Foster. George takes it, and that's ball 4, and that loads him up. Well, let's see what Chuck Tanner's going to do. He comes on back to the mound and will no doubt make another pitching change. Kent DeCalvi faces but one batter, and that being George Foster, walks him to fill the bases with Cincinnati Reds, and John Candelaria is going to be brought on in relief to face Danny Dreesen. Well, Joe, you make this move, I guess you mean business.
Yeah, I'd say he's out to win, without a doubt. Of course, he's gone through the bullpen pretty good. Candelaria, the 6th pitcher used, and of course, he's part of their starting rotation. And as you mentioned, Marty, I would have to imagine, and now Sunday, we would see Jim Rooker. But we'll, of course, have to wait for that announcement. But Candelaria possible he could pitch the last 2 innings. So we'll really wait and see. But right now, we need a base hit in the worst way.
Well, this is going to be the first relief appearance this season for the Candyman. John has won 5 and lost 6 with a 346 earned run average. It looked like it was going to be a routine inning for Grant Jackson. He popped up Collins. He got Rose on a fly ball to center, but then Griffey had the infield hit to first. And then came consecutive walks to Joe Morgan by Grant Jackson. And then Tekulve came on to face Foster, and he walked George. So we've seen 3 Pirate pitchers in the 8th inning alone. And on the night, it's been Robinson, Royce, Whitson, Jackson, Tekulve, and now Candelaria. While Cincinnati has used Moscow, Tomlin, Bourbon, and Bear, and there have not been too many who have been out there who have fared well. Moscow pitched very well in the 5 innings that he went, and you really have to wonder back at Paul's shoulder not tightened up on him. Would we have a ball game right now, as we so obviously do? Oh, Danny Dreesen, a left-handed batter against the left-hander, hard-throwing John Candelaria. Dreesen tonight has doubled a run across in 4 times up. Candelaria out of the stretch. He pitches, and Danny takes it away. Ball 1. The Giants have lost 3-2 to the Mets. The Dodgers have been beaten 10-9 at Montreal. The Reds, we trail by 2, 11-9 in the 8th inning with 2 out and the bases loaded. Griffey third, Morgan second, Foster at first. And there's ball 2 outside, 2-0. Candelaria working in relief for the first time this season is behind 2 balls and no strikes as he pitches, and Danny grounds one toward first. There is Stargell. He will go to the bag and beat Dreesen to first base to end the inning. So Candelaria does his job. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. Going to the bottom of the 8th, the Pirates lead the Reds 11-9. Opportunity for themselves, but they cannot capitalize on it. John Candelaria comes on to get Danny Dreesen to hit a 2-0 pitch on the ground to Willie Stargell, and now we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, still down by 2 runs. Manny Sarmiento is on the mound. Doug Baer goes 1 inning, allows 2 runs, both earned on 4 hits. And he struck out a batter. It's going to be Parker, Robinson, and Stargell here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll pause for station identification right now on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. Run average. This one fouled off the left field line, and that'll be out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, our Indianapolis Farm Club playing very well right now. They have won 3 straight games from Denver this week, allowing a total of just 8 base hits, and Mike Lacoste, the big man in this recent Indianapolis turnaround, he fired a 3-hit shutout Tuesday night. Here's a bouncing ball wide of first, but backhanded by Danny, underhands to Sarmiento to get the out on Parker. That shutout and complete game for Lacoste, his 5th complete game in a row, all victories, and he is now the top winner in the American Association with an 8-2 record. In the doubleheader Wednesday, Mario Soto went the route with a 3-hitter, and Doug Capilla also went the distance to win on a 2-hitter. So Roy Matika's club getting some outstanding pitching and rolling along in high gear, and we're looking forward to seeing that club next Thursday night when we go to Indianapolis for our yearly trek to play our AAA Farm Club. Here's a check swing foul ball by Bill Robinson. Robinson 4 for 4. 3 doubles and a single. He's driven in 3 runs and has scored 3. He swings and misses on a curveball, strike 2. Robinson has raised his batting average, would you believe, 24 points tonight, from 244 to 268. It's a smash foul off the third base line. Werner setting up on the outside part of the plate. Sarmiento coming in on Bill, and that was the type of pitch that he pulled down the left field line in the 7th inning to knock in 2 runs. Again, the 0-2. Curve is outside, a ball, and 2 strikes on Bill Robinson. In the ninth for Cincinnati, it's going to be Concepcion, Geronimo, and Werner. They are the scheduled batters against John Candelaria. Bat handle foul back. In that Dodger loss to Montreal, Dan Schatzeder got the victory, his first decision of the season, and Tommy John the loser. We'll have all the scores of all the games for you on our Scores and Comments program immediately preceding or following Joe Nuck's All-Star, the game show, after this one is wrapped up. Here's a shot to left field, but Foster will play it for the second out. Robinson hit that ball on the butt. So Manny will go to work on Willie Stargell. He's driven in 3 runs with 2 singles and a double and 4 times up.
The unstable audio is a product of the master reel, and has nothing to do with duplicating procedures.
Manny trying to retire the Pirates in order and then hope the Reds offense can generate 2 or more in the top of the ninth. There's ball 1. Eleven pitchers have worked in this game, 6 for the Pirates and 5 for Cincinnati. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes, and the way things stand right now, the winning pitcher would be Grant Jackson, and the loss would go to Doug Baer. Stargell out ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. He takes it just below the knees, ball 3. I don't be too surprised to see Chuck Tanner turn this man loose if Sarmiento throws a strike. He swings away and pops it out of play. Off third and well back into the seats. Well, 3-1 on Willie Stargell. Here's a pitch, and that's strike 2 call on the outside corner. Three and 2, Stargell waiting on Sarmiento's payoff pitch. And it's on the way. Check swing on a curve low. Willie gets a walk. That continues the 8th for Pittsburgh second baseman Rennie Stennett. He's had 1 of Pittsburgh's 18 hits. That a double to right field in the 6th inning. He swings and fouls it away. Strike 1. Well, everything completed in the National League with the exception of our game and also the Houston-St. Louis game that now has gone through 3.5 and has the Astros leading the Cardinals 4-2. Inside with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Philadelphia beat Atlanta 6-1. New York over the Giants 3-2. Montreal 10, LA 9, and this afternoon, the Cubs shut out San Diego 5-0. Pitch. Blown away. Ball 2 with a strike. 2-1. Stargell, the base runner. He's at first. Rennie Stennett at the plate. Swings, drives 1 into center field. Geronimo drifts back on the warning track, and he makes the catch. The Pirate 8th inning shows no runs, no hits, and a man left on. So we'll go to the 9th inning, trailing the Pirates 11-9.
Was big enough was not.
Right now, we've got Tommy Hume loosening up in the Cincinnati bullpen, and Junior Kennedy has moved on deck to pinch hit for Don Werner. Candelaria delivers, and David takes the curveball for a strike. That's low with a fastball. It bounces away from Ed Ott. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball in, strike call. The pitch. That's high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curveball, got him looking. Kennedy takes a high fastball. Ball 1. Junior batting .262, no homers and 2 runs batted in, has had an extra base hit, a double this season among his 11 hits. But as a pinch hitter, has gone 0 for 6. A fastball in for a strike. 1-1. Kennedy drives it foul on a line past first base. On down into foul territory, deep along the right field line. That's the ball and got him looking. Candelaria with back-to-back strikeouts. And both hitters, Concepcion and Kennedy, looking at strike 3 on good curveball. So Don Werner here up in the ninth, grounds one by the third baseman. Here's Taveras with a throw, and he got him at first base. That's the ball game. In the ninth inning, Cincinnati goes out in order, and the Pirates, in a gigantic comeback, defeat the Cincinnati Reds in this series opener 11-9. We'll be back in just a moment.